There's two different types of Tagua that we harvest after it falls naturally to the ground. The first is a larger Tagua that comes from a palm tree. It is mainly harvested by Afro-Colombians who inhabit that entire coastal region, the western coastal region of Colombia. They're descendants of slaves that were brought over to South America. They're an extremely marginalized population of people that have very little access to resources and very little support from the government. In general, they've been kind of forgotten by most of Colombia and have been exposed to racism as well as many other social ills that have left them pretty far behind the rest of the Colombia in terms of development. The Tagua is in large seed pods called cabezas. These can be about the size of a football, and there might be as many as 10 or 20 of them on a single tree, holding as much as 500 pounds of Tagua once it falls to the ground. Collectors wait until it falls. For many people, it's kind of a secondary type job. Most of them are primarily agriculture and subsistence agriculture in the area. They utilize this product as an alternative income generating resource for them. And with more demand, there's going to be a lot more use for this type of product, which would bring more income to these people. In the production process, the nuts fall to the ground. They have a very hard exterior shell on them. A lot of times these are gathered up, brought to a central depot where they're washed, a lot of times in rivers and in water to clean any excess dirt off. Afterwards, they're dried out in the sun where they can further dry the interior of the Tagua, where it becomes extremely hard and white. Tagua is known as the ivory of the rainforest because they have very similar properties to ivory, as in whalebone or elephant tusks, and instead it's a natural alternative to that. The Tagua itself, when it does dry in the sun, the exterior hard shells are removed. The collectors we work with say they know when it's ready. We ask, is it a number of days? Is it weeks? And they say they know when they knock two shells together and they can hear the correct sound. At that point, they realize it's time to deshell them. They also can be deshelled in kind of a commercial machine that takes all the exterior shells off at once. A lot of times these shells are used as fertilizer on fields or actually to make paths in between different houses in villages. Once the shells are removed, it's allowed to dry some more. Then it's transported in a variety of ways: by boat, by donkey, by car, by truck, out to a central road where again it's bought by a central buyer in the area who we work with very closely. The Tagua then is transported about 500 miles to Bogota, where it is given to different processing groups who take the Tagua. They again slice it, cut it, they're able to polish it, as well as dye and color it into a variety of shapes and sizes to be put into final pieces and final products.